It's the truth, man, the future, you know. You got Stephen A. Smith receiving backlash for saying if he was Serena Williams' husband, he would divorce her because Serena Williams took part in Kendrick Lamar's Super Bowl halftime show performance, right? Kendrick Lamar did the halftime show. Y'all know there were drama between Lil Wayne and, Kendrick fans and things like that over that whole Super Bowl performance, right? You had Lil Wayne fans believing he should have been the one to perform. You had Lil Wayne coming out speaking about the situation, saying he was hurt. He didn't get to perform. He wanted to perform because the Super Bowl was in New Orleans. Jay-Z's in control of who performs at the Super Bowl, right? Jay-Z, the same nigga that was, talking about taking the knee, supporting Colin Kaepernick and calling out people who critiqued Colin Kaepernick. Then as soon as the league offered Jay-Z some papers, he said, hey, F all that knee shit you doing, Colin Kaepernick. I'm about to get this bag, right? That's Jay-Z for you. And ever since Jay-Z has been, in control of who performs at the halftime show, you've had, a lot of good performances, right? I believe the first joint was the 50 Cent came out there with Eminem and Snoop Dogg and them, I believe. But now you had Jay-Z basically choosing Kendrick Lamar to perform, right? Kendrick came out that joint. It just keep getting bad for Drake, right? This is probably the worst diss track anybody has ever had to deal with ever. You know what I'm saying? I believe it's probably the greatest diss track of all time, not just because of what Kendrick was talking about, but because of how big the song was, right? The man won 5 Grammys from a diss track dissing a nigga. For real, right? Then ended up performing a joint at the Grammys, and you can see Serena Williams in the joint. She crip walking now, right? When she be at Massa house, her husband house, she be over there listening to Taylor Swift and white girl music and shit, right? You know what I'm saying? Every time you see her run around like she trying to look like a white girl, right? But now, she back, and I'm like, hey, that's her Cali brother. They're both from Compton. I believe Drake is her ex. Maybe she was trying to shit on Drake, or also maybe she was just, a part of the performance because Kendrick asked her to. And I believe she got critiqued before for crip walking at Wimbledon, right? And I believe maybe that's why she did it. But Stephen A. Smith, he took issue with it, right? He was like, if I was your husband, I'd divorce you, woo. Coming from a nigga who ain't got a wife, right? There's always somebody who ain't married talking about what some married person should be doing. Stephen Smith needs to be focusing on his hairline, not going back any further. But you had Stephen A. Smith basically getting flamed up. People told Stephen A. Smith to shut up, be quiet. The swirlers was on his neck or whatever. No George Floyd. People were calling out Stephen A. Smith like, man, it wasn't even that serious, Stephen A. Smith. You acting like she was performing at a Drake concert or something, right? And that's what I was like, he might have a point if she came out there at a Drake show. Like, what you out here at your ex show and shit like that? Because Serena Williams did used to date Drake, you know what I'm saying? Drake knocking any and everything down, right? He'll run through the sisters, but he damn sure ain't gonna get y'all pregnant. He'll get a white prostitute pregnant, but he get one of you queens pregnant, and that's exactly
I don't want to be somebody
what Drake did,
that
right? Got a whole escort
and I don't get a perspective.
Niggas get rich and famous
myself
to have a whore as a baby mama. I'm just saying, I don't make up the definition of things and I don't make up the rules. But they flamed Stephen A. Smith up, man. Like, man, Stephen A. Smith, go that way. It wasn't even that serious. I guess Stephen A. Smith is looking at it like, you're pressed to, diss Drake, so you must be thinking about him. Woo, woo. Why you worried about Drake? Woo, woo. It is the Super Bowl, Stephen A. Smith. Maybe she wanted to be a part of the Super Bowl halftime show. And I mean, let's keep it a buck. It is kind of funny, and you over there dancing on Drake's grave or whatever when he had his dick in your mouth. I'm just saying, right? I'm just saying. But you had a lot of people calling out Stephen A. Smith. The man can say whatever he want to say. I'm just like, Stephen A. Smith, the same nigga that can't get Molly from stop calling him S.A. Right? To a point where Stephen A. Smith's girlfriend, who we ain't never seen before, and she ain't the cutest thing, you know what I'm saying? But she came out going in on Molly, having a problem with Molly, calling Stephen A. Smith S.A. So he can't check Molly from calling him S.A., but he's trying to check a sister for performing at a Kendrick Lamar halftime show concert, which is at the Super Bowl. I believe the concert was or the halftime show was you had people complaining, but let's keep it a buck. It was mostly Brad and Becky complaining or whatever like that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, what they thought he was going to come out there like Usher or something? Like, you know what I'm saying? He's going to come out there like Chris Brown or something? I mean, his performance was better than Rihanna's joint while she was over there pregnant and all trying to perform, right? I remember when Rihanna performed, people didn't like that Rihanna performance, but Riri was pregnant at the time, right? But you got Stephen A. Smith getting called out, man. People are telling Stephen A. Smith to be quiet. Stephen A. Smith now be talking about entertainment news and things like that because he's seen Shannon Sharpe get into the bag. Stephen A. Smith never had no YouTube channel, was never speaking on entertainment type news. He done seen, ever since that Cat Williams joint, I'm telling you, right? He done seen Shannon Sharpe get into the bag. Now Stephen A. Smith has his own YouTube channel and he be speaking on pop culture and things like that, but that whole take didn't go well for Stephen A. Smith. They done flamed him up for real on that whole situation, right? Hey, my opinion, I'm like, it would have been different if you telling me Serena Williams over there on stage with Drake, you know what I'm saying? Then I can see why you would say, man, I divorce her for doing some shit like that, right? You got a family with a joint. You talking about you gonna divorce her because she took part of a performance at the Super Bowl and the nigga got a diss track about her ex. Okay, like you acting like she got with the ex, but hey, maybe Stephen A. Smith's looking at it like, why are you worried about Drake? You know what I'm saying? I'm out.